Greetings! Welcome to another episode of This Damn House. Today we're going to remove the timing belt and replace it in the water pump for our 2011 Subaru Impreza. That's it. So we got to remove the snorkel. I'm just going to go ahead and unscrew that. Screw this. I'm going to pop the screw up like that. Should pull it right out like this. Same thing over here. Alright, so we have those like that. And this should just come right out. There you go. After we're done that, we're going to remove this. We need to pull this belt guard off. So this is a 10mm right here. It's just a 10mm, and then we have a little little thing that sits inside of this little hole right here. Okay, so I'm just going to keep this with it like that. All right, when I store it, I need to take the radiator out so that way I can get access to the bolts that hold on the cover for the timing belt. So I need to drain the radiator. So the first time I'm going to jack the car up some so I can get access to a drain plug that's right underneath. So I'm extra paranoid. I don't like being underneath the car. So with just 2 jack stands, I'm going to get 2 more jack stands. So now that's up, I'm going to go ahead and look underneath and try to pull out the, probably drain it. I might not use the drain plug, I'll probably just pull out the bottom hose and let it all drip out from the bottom. Got to just off a nice little bucket so I can catch the antifreeze. This is the back of the tire. You should try to put these things behind the tire. You can see them right here. I have 2, one on both sides of the back. That just keeps the car from rolling. It's important when you do that, when you're jacking it out, because you don't want the car to roll. Alright? Just get one on both sides. Alright, so you see right here, I'm going to take off this guard because I need to get to that hose right there. Alright, so it's a 12mm. Ugh. Coffee time! Wine time! So that's it. That's a 12mm right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and unscrew that so I can drain it from here. I think I'm going to get a lot more done quickly by taking this bottom hose off. And then from there, I have to undo this and this hose. And I have another one that's right here. You can't see it, but I'll show it to you. I'm going to take this bottom hose off, so if everything goes well, I should be able to guide it into this little pan right here. And let's see. All right. So this is an 8mm. So I'll loosen this up. I don't even know if it's going to work. Actually, yeah, it is. It's working. Alright, so that's that right there. Alright, so once that's loosened up, let's slide it back. Alright, so slid back. Alright, and then I'm going to try to like pop this off. Let's see how much I can catch before it goes all over the place. Okay, here we go. The first thing to do is try to put it up as high as you can. So wiggle this off. That's not going to work. I'm going to have to pry this a little bit. So here we go. Oh, there you go. All right, that's good. So keep it up high so that way when it drops down, I won't have to aim too much and I will be able to catch as much of it as possible. I'm going to try to reuse as much of this as possible, so this oil pan, this drainage container is clean enough. To help with the draining of the coolant, I'm going to go ahead and take the cap off. And that's just going to help it flow a little bit more easily. See how that works. I'm going to let that just drain some more by itself. So while the coolant is draining, I'm going to go ahead and take these two bolts off the top right here because I need to like take this guard and move it out of the way so I can lift the radiator out. So this is a 12 millimeter. Right? It's a 12 millimeter here and a 12 millimeter here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to like take the bolt, put this back in like that, and just kind of screw it in like that, so that way it doesn't get lost. Okay, nothing too tight. Okay, I don't seem like I have to. Wow, that just broke right off the radiator. So the radiator was just holding on by that. That's kind of terrible. All right, so. Probably gonna have to do something about that later on, so there you go. I'm not even gonna touch that bolt. That bolt is like pretty rusty. But what happened, if you want to see here, this has a guard that holds it in place. This little post just broke right off on that one right there. So this radiator is like barely holding on. So that's those two. I'm going to go ahead and get at the other bolts underneath. Actually, while I'm at it, let's take this top hose off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this top hose off. Let's get some seat clamps. Channel locks here. Like that. So that's out of the way. Let's go ahead and screw that off. Okay. That's good. I'm probably going to want to take this extra top hose and just move it out of the way because I can get these belts off also. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll turn it right here. And take this clamp off also. Right here. Slide it back.
Where do you want this?
Oh, nice. That right there's good. Thank you so much. Nice. That looks so good.
Yes.
Alright, there you go. So the top hose is off. Radiator is loose. I'm just going to go ahead and keep this to the side, and then I have to go back underneath and disconnect two more hoses. They're cooling lines for the transmission fluid. And then we have a power switch right here for the fans. Alright, so right here we have a, looks like, I'm going to use a 1/4 inch right here to loosen this up. So it's 1/4 inch on this. Oops. Well, it's so tight I can undo with my hand. It makes me feel really good about how well they did this before me, whoever did this. Or maybe it just loosened up itself. Anyway, so that's that, right? I should be able to pull this line off right here. So this is the power supply for the fans. There's two of them. I just want to show you how to get these things off because they're very difficult when you're underneath to see what's happening. So this tab here, right? You gotta like go underneath it and lift up like that to pull the other part out. Okay? Again, you go underneath this tab right here, lift it up, and then pull it out, and that's it. That way you can get this out easily and you don't have any problems. If there's two of them, do the same thing on this side and the other side. That's what I was doing that was so difficult for me to do and show you. Alright? But now you know how to do it. And that's it. I'm going to have to get underneath here with some different strategy. I'm going to use a sock. These channel locks like this. Right? I'm going to wrap it around the hose. I'm going to go to the part where it's the metal is not sticking out onto it. Inside of it, I mean. The male part's not touching the hose. Right. And then I'm just going to go and shake it back and forth like that. Oh, there you go. Got it off. So you're going to have to do that to get that off of the radiator, okay? You can see right here, I'm getting ready to lose all this, what do you call it, fluid, coolant, power steering coolant. So I'm going to put that hose up just like that. Right? And then I'm going to have to try to hold it up there in some way so it doesn't leak out. Alright, so that's that. That's out. I have one more hose. Actually, let's go ahead and take this power for this fan off right here. So there's a harness right here. Just pull that off. These things are never easy, are they? Okay. I'm going to spray it a little bit. I'll spray it, clean it off first. I'll spray it and lubricate it after. So that's just very clean right there. I did that so I can get that automatic yeah, it's automatic transmission fluid off of it because it's so slippery. And then I should be able to just pull this apart. Alright, so this was a bit of a challenge because I didn't really know how this was constructed, but you see this tab right here on the power supply for the fan? You have to push up on it like that, and then you pull down and it slides out. So push up on the tab and then pull down and it'll pop right out. There's another one over here on the passenger side, so I can't really show you that one from underneath here easily. Okay, so this is the front of the car that way. That's the back of the car. It's the radiator right here. This right here is the other power supply. So I think I can do a better job at it from up top. So I'm going to go up top so you can watch it from below. So again, I got to go push up on the tab and then pull out. And that's it. Okay, so now that power supply is done. There's one more thing left. There's one more thing left for me to pull out, and it's this right here. Okay, well, let me try to turn that so you can see. See this right here? Nope. We're almost there. Come on, camera. This right here. So I need to now get that out of the way. So the best way for me to do that would be to, sorry for the camera shuffling around, but it's hard to do this stuff by yourself. Okay, so I'm going to try to like pull this out. So I'm just going to clamp it and pull it off. And it might have some fluid, some automatic transmission fluid, so I would go ahead and put my glasses on just to make sure that you don't get anything in your eyes, or just do it from an angle off to the side. So let's see if I can do it without damaging my eyes or the camera. Please don't hurt my camera. Okay, so that's pulled back, right? And then it's gonna go ahead and yank that off. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to need to put something around that like I did, like a sock or so. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to put a sock around this. And just try to wiggle it off because I don't want to break. I'm not trying to break the hose. Wiggle the hose. It's coming. I tend to like not want to grab these things with the like that because it's too hard. It's ruin the it'll damage the actual hose itself. I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna string this over. Oh, my extended family's coming. Yeah. There we go. So, see if that. Oops. Oh, camera going down. Never mind. All right. Well, hey. Oh boy, channel lock fell on me. That's awesome. Hey, if you hear somebody cracking jokes, it's my extended family making jokes at me. See, there you go. See them right there? See those feet? Look at his little feet. That's right. It's a mama bear. Come on, oh boy. I'm like trying to pull this hose off. It's a fun time.
Fun time.
Camera. Oh, I gotta kill this camera. Oh yeah. Look at that. See that beautiful silver stuff right there? That's me yanking on it. It's actually working. So, here we go. Let's see if I can pull it off the rest of the way. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Oh, we did it. There you go. That's the final hose. The radiator is free. It's gonna keep this like hose up because I don't want that power steering fluid to like get all over the place. So there you go. All right, so everything is disconnected from the top here. This is an automatic transmission car, so I took the two automatic transmission lines, coolant lines off. There's two power supplies for each fan. Those I disconnected. So now the radiator should be pretty free to be lifted out. So you know what, I think I do gotta loosen that up. I was trying to not do it because it's just such a frozen looking. It's like really rusty. So, I don't know. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, this is a 12 millimeter. So that's out of the way. I'm just going to go ahead and scoot this back in so I can turn it when I'm so let's see if that gives me pull that out. Yep, there you go. Alright, so now the radiator is out. So now the radiator's out, right? Let's see how much room we have right here. Now the radiator is all out. You can see how much space we have right here. So this is good. We can get access to the timing belt and do all the work that we need. To get the timing belt off, we have to take all these belts off. So we have a lot of work to do. So let's get cracking on that. I need to get this belt off and this belt off. This is going to be the harder one to do. To do this job, you're going to have to get a specialty tool to put this belt back on. This is a stretch belt. It has no tensioner, so you're going to need a specialty tool to put the belt on. To take it off, I'll show you a trick that I learned. So I'm just use this 12 millimeter right here and loosen that up. This 12 millimeter right here. That should take all the tension off of this belt so I can slide this off. I'll have to, okay, the alternator here has a bolt right here I need to loosen out. That's going to make it slide around, so let's see. That's a 12 millimeter also. I'm going to do that by hand. So I'm going to have to loosen this up by hand here. This is a 12 millimeter, so just a 12 millimeter again. There you go. That's enough to get that off. Create just a little bit more space for me. So. I should be able to slide this belt off. Okay, so that's the first belt. Okay, and then make sure you keep track of what this this belt is. Micro V. Can you see that? It's a K050345. That's 5PK880. So that's what this belt is, and that belt's going to be the alternator belt. The next belt I'm going to remove is going to be a little trickier, so I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so here's a little trick, right? You take your 22. This is a 22 millimeter socket, right? You put it on this right here, right? So it just turns it like that, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to take this, like, it's very flexible, kind of like aluminum. You slide it in here, like this. I see a lot of people try to do this on YouTube with like screwdrivers and stuff, and all they do is just end up damaging the teeth of this pulley. You don't want to do that. That's just not good. So you go like this. Okay. So it just wraps around it like that. So what's happening now, right? It's you're trying to just get it before, and so kind of missed it. So I'll try it again. I have to put like a couple pieces in so I can get all the way around. So go like this. There you go. Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna slide this underneath here, so that way it doesn't catch the teeth again. Okay, so now the entire belt is off of the teeth. So what I should be able to do now, right? I think this should work. Let's just go like this, and kind of like just be careful because there's a lot of electronics right there. You don't want to mess it up. I should be able to go like here. There you go. That's it. It helps sometimes to go like this. Go here like that. Jam that in there. Oops. So just creating a little outwards push like that. I don't want to push against the teeth of the pulley, so I don't want to damage the pulley. Okay, and that's it. And that way you don't push anything against the pulley teeth. It's a bad idea to do that, okay? And that's how you get this belt off. Just like that. What I have right here are these two hoses from underneath, and I want to keep them kind of like together. So I'm going to use these like these ties right here, just to so I'm going to tie them together. Like that, okay? And then I'm going to go in between the ties right? And then tie them up and around something. So let's pick in something a little higher. Okay, so now they're elevated, and that way I won't have to worry about them leaking any automatic transmission fluid, okay? If you have a manual transmission, you won't have to worry about this. That's the good part about that. So this is going to be the hardest bolt to pull. It's a 22 millimeter bolt. So what you're going to do, right? You can get your 22 millimeter socket, get a breaker bar. It's not a breaker bar, but I have one, but I don't have it with me. Get a breaker bar, put it on this, like this, right? Get a piece of pipe like this, put it in here. Right, make sure this is in the offset in, right? You put it down like this because this is going to turn that way, and you just bump the car a little bit. Just let it bump a little, and it should twist it right off. Let's see if it works. Let's see if that worked. Yep, worked like a charm. It's coming right off, so that's how you do it. Cool? So I'm going to go ahead and finish pulling off this pulley and bolt. Not in that order, obviously. Pulley first. I mean, bolt first. So that's the, it's a very large bolt, as you can see. And the pulley should just come right off. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to fight with this one for a little bit, it looks like. Yeah, I think I'm going to spray this for a second here with some PB Blast or any lubricant you have. I'll let that sit for a little bit, and then actually, no, while I'm at it, just spray the other bolts too. There's all these bolts around you need to pull off. Should be 14 of them. Can't see them all, but they're all around. Some underneath here too, but I can't see those. So let that sit, and then I'm gonna try to get that pulley off, because I need to get the pulley off to get that guard off. So this car, if it's an old car, it has like a lot of miles on it. This has over 200,000 miles. It's going to be hard to get that pulley off. So here's a little trick for you. You take your breaker bar like this, right? After, because you know I sprayed it already. Jam it in there. Make sure you push it against the alternator. Don't push it against any of the belts like that. Take another object, right? Just tap on it. I didn't want that to fall, but okay, there you go. So that's how you're gonna get that off. Okay, it's really hard to do without pushing and tapping at the same time. All right, this cover has a lot of like 10mm bolts to take off, and on this car, it's going to be a fight. most of these bolts are all very rusted. So I'm gonna be out here fighting for a while. So I recommend you get yourself a bolt, something that can remove stripped out bolts like that one right there. That doesn't even look like it's just corroded to like nothing, right? So what I'm gonna do, I sprayed it with some lubricant, all of them, let it sit. I'm gonna do some brake cleaner now, just to clean them off, so I can see if I can get my socket on it. My socket can grab it or not. I did go ahead and purchase new bolts for these, so I recommend you do that also. Yeah, I don't recommend you try to reuse these bolts. They're too old and too worn. So that's it. So I clean it with some brake fluid, and then I'm going to try to go ahead and use my air tool and pull them off. I'll do the easiest ones first, and then I'll go from there. Alright, so here we go. This one looks like it's going to be easy. This is a 10 millimeter. It's a small one. I think these are a little bit bigger on the inside. Alright, so it's 110. That one's not going to be easy. Let's try this one. Definitely not that one. How about this one? Let's see. Yeah, they're all pretty rusty, man. That sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta try something else. Alright. Alright, I'm back at it again. Try this technique instead. I'll put it on there first. I think I was losing some dexterity with the other tool. This is what it looks like. So it's a little different from the other one. So, all right, let's see if I can take some more out. The very small cover looks like this. Okay. All right, let's see if I can get some more. I think that works good. So it looks like I'm going to have the same problem with all of them, so let's go ahead and take them all off, and when I run into a really hard one, I'll show you a technique to get it off, okay? Should be like 14 of them. So there's two right here, right? You may not be able to see them. Like one here and one right here. And they have like no, there's nothing, I can't even grab anything with these things. So those are going to give me a bit of a hard time, and I hope that it's not going to be too bad. Alright, there's another one down here. So you can get that one off. So you can you see that? They're probably not, but it's right there. Sorry, right down there. Work that on past the rust. Let's see what we got here. Again. Okay, so we have some more underneath. I have to take a look and see where they are because I'm not really sure. There's a bolt right here. It's pretty easy to get to. I'm probably going to try to start to go underneath the car. Maybe. Might have to go underneath the car to get the other parts out. This is the smaller bolt. You can see it because they are from this plastic guard. Comes in two pieces. Right. There's one here and there's the whole bigger one right there. So I think there are some more underneath. So I'm gonna go take a look underneath and see what I can find. I know there's more because I can feel the tension. I just can't place my socket on it. Can't really show you easily with the camera what I'm doing from underneath, so I'm going to do it from the top and then see if you'll be able to see me do stuff. But what I'm going to do, I have to clean these bolts off with some brake cleaner because they're pretty dirty and I can't get the socket around it. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I count 1, 2. There's one missing here that they were, whoever did it before didn't put back. 3. I'm sorry. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. This one's missing. Someone didn't put it. So let's try to pull these off and see what we can do. there. Alright, that one will come off. The bolts get stuck a lot inside of here, so I got to do this a lot to get them off. Oh, never mind. I was going to show you what I do. I usually do a channel lock here, like this, and then a smaller one on the actual bolt, pull it apart like that. So you might have to do that a lot. Just letting you know, it happens. I removed the last bolt for the smaller side of the plastic guard for the timing belt, so this should come off now. Alright, there we go. So that's the first of the two pieces, okay? So next what we have is, wow, this belt's pretty worn. Yeah, it's about that time. But anyway, so that's off, right? So we have another bolt. We have 1, 2, 3 more bolts underneath, and we have 2 bolts up top. So these 2 are going to be a pain in the butt. Those 2 underneath, I'm not really sure yet. So I'll figure it out with you. Now would be a good time to remove the negative battery terminal. Make sure your windows are all wound up, and you know, because you're not going to be able to do it easily without putting that back on. So let's take a 10mm wrench right here. Pulling that off like that, so that way we don't have any more current going through the car, so nothing crazy can happen. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this bolt extractor. Looks like this. See that right there? It's like kind of curvy. Alright, you're going to need this. This is for 10mm. I have a set. This is what the set looks like. It's made by this company right here. Got it? So I'm going to use that. It comes in this container. I'm using the 10mm. Let's see how well this works. So these I can't grab with my regular sockets because they're all rusted. So. Yep, sure did pull it right off. So go ahead and make sure you, before you start this project, you get one of these, because it's a very common thing for this to be very rusted, these bolts, okay? And get new bolts too. I'll give you the part number for that later. Let's see if I can take this other one off over here. Yep, it sure does. Wow, that's amazing. This thing, I couldn't even see it, just grabbed it. Grabbed it all the way around and pulled it right off. That's amazing. Get yourself one of these things. These things are amazing. All right, so all the top bolts are off. All the top. Okay, let's get to go back underneath. So I'm gonna set the camera up so you can look at it from the top. It's hard to put the camera underneath. I'm going to try to grab those bolts also. Alright? So I'm back underneath. I'm going to try to get these. There's 2 more bolts, and then that should be it, and I'll be able to get this guard off. one more to go, and it's this right here. Now that one, I can't get the socket on it, so I gotta try the other one. The one that I'm gonna use to remove the stripped sockets. Let's see if that one will work. It's pretty rusty. Alright, so I'm gonna spray it real quick with some brake cleaner, and then that last one is really rusty, and I put it on and it made this super clogged. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it with some brake cleaner and then try to do it. Alright, I sprayed it with brake cleaner. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to like pull that thing off, see if it works. And then I just broke the plastic. That's wonderful. Alright, so that didn't pull any bolt off, it just broke the plastic instead. So, yep, that's it. Okay, cool. That should be it. Back it out a little bit so you can see. Sure to pull this guard off now. Looks like it wants me to pull this clip out here too. Let's see. Okay. So it'll lift up on that, maybe? Lift up and pull down? Don't really remember. No. Push it down like that and slide this back. Yeah, slide this in there. Maybe I think that's what it's slide in. Up. Down. Oh, I forgot to do this clip. These things are so miserable. Yeah, it's pushed down. Okay, push down like that and slide back. So you can see that. Alright. So now that clip is out of the way. This looks like it's for the oxygen sensor. Should have lifted the cool. Alright, that's it. So this has a rubber gasket all the way around it that has looks like that. Okay. So I don't know if I purchased a new one or not, or if I need one, but here's part of it. Right here. Yeah, it's definitely I think I should probably get another gasket, I think. take a look and see what that part number is. It would be nice if it came with the actual set. I don't know, but I can tell you that it's definitely one of those things that I didn't expect to need. But yeah, I'm gonna need it right here. And you can see there's an oil leak. So it'd be nice to get rid of that oil leak too while I'm at it. Alright, cool. Yeah, alright, so there you go. I'm gonna pull this off right here. And I'll need another gasket for that. Alright, so this is what happened. When I was taking this off, right here is where you can see it right here. It just broke right off. The plastic guard that holds onto the body of this, where the bolt is, like that, just broke right off. So I tried to like pull it off with that 10 millimeter rated bolt remover. It's too big now. It rounded it off, so I have to go down one size smaller, right? In the set, this size is a 3/8 of an inch. So I am going to use this with my impact hammer. This little impact hammer right here, like this. Okay, maybe that's not gonna work. Anyway, I thought it would have. Here's my solution. I'm gonna go, so this is a 1/2 inch. Here's a 1/2 inch impact, and that goes from a 1/2 inch down. My adapter goes down to 3/8. Okay, so 1/2 inch to 3/8, like that. Then like this. Okay, like that. And I think that should be able to take it all off. Okay, so see if you can take a look down there. And you'll see me pop up, okay? Here we go. Yep, that pulled it right off. It's perfect. Alright, so that's how you do it. Let's go ahead and use your adapter. Go down to 3/8, and that's it. That's the super stripped thing right there. So, looks like I'm going to need an entire new plastic guard for that. Alright. So what we have to do now is take this bolt. I screwed it in so you can see where we're going to put it. So what we want to do is just put it back in so that way we can, this camshaft bolt, we're going to just take this bolt and place it back in here because we need to turn this, right? So we're going to put it back in. And we're doing this because we need to line up the lines on the pulley with the there's 3 marks. There's one there, one here, and one here. So I'll show them to you. All right. So what I'm going to do now with my this is my 22mm socket, right? Put this in the on position. I'm going to go ahead and connect it onto the that bolt. Okay. So it's on the it's on this bolt right here. If you can see it. Okay. So right here, right? I need to like just make sure everything is framed here. Okay. See where I put that on, right? I'm going to zoom in because I want to show you how we're going to turn this to line this up, right? So, okay, perfect. Right. See, so there's a notch right there. See that? This is the driver's side. I'm going to turn this until this lines up, on this pulley lines up. Okay, so here we go. See that? So this line right here and that line right there, that's lined up with that. So I'm going to go ahead and check it in the other spots, right? So I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I'll back it out some so you can see. Let's take a look at that that center part right there. I'm going to try to get a better angle here. Hold on one second. Coming up this blue part here. Right here. Okay, so alright, that should do it. Okay, so see that white line right there? And do you see the line back here? See those, those two are lined up. So this is in the center. Right, this is the bolt that I used to turn just now. This is the main one, the crank pulley bolt. Okay, so that's lined up. Okay. So there's another position over here, right? And I'll show you. It's on the left side. Yeah. It's right there. This is the passenger side. So not really, I don't know. I don't like to say left or right. This is the passenger side. Because left or right changes based on what your orientation when you look at the car. But if you look right here, you'll see this is lined up with that line right there. Okay? So everything's lined up now. We can go ahead and take the rest of this stuff apart. Okay? So that's it. So make sure those are, turn it till it's all lined up, and then we're going to place the belt on now. Alright, we have to take some other stuff off, then put the belt on. So I gotta pull this passenger side pulley off first. There we go. This is a 14 millimeter. So that's a 14 millimeter again. that's that. And that's going to be replaced with that right there. Sorry. So that's the old one. That's the new one. Okay. So we're going to do the upper idler pulley right here. So it's going to take that off. Again, that's a 14 millimeter. It's the same thing as the other one. So it's a 14. I don't know what you did, but I did take a photo of this whole thing right here so I can take a look at it. Because these things get confusing when you're doing them. There you go. So that's the upper idler pulley. Alright. So now all this is, those two pulleys are out. What we're going to do is slide the belt off now. Just make sure you don't like turn anything. Right, so slide that off. The old belt. Alright. Alright, next thing we're going to have to do is remove this this bolt right here to we need to get the water pump out. We want to take this pulley right here off of the water pump. So again, this is another 14 millimeter, same 14 millimeter we've been using for the others. So 14 again. So that's it, right there, like that, like this, and like that, okay? So, just pull that out. This tensioner right here, we need to take this off, so to get that off, I'm going to go ahead and pull that 14 millimeter bolt. Again, that's another 14 millimeter, okay? So that's the tensioner right there. Cool. Alright. So you can see it. That's the bolt I just pulled out. This is the new water pump. It has... Let's see how many bolts we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts we need to pull off. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull those off. So here we go. Oh, by the way, this is a 10 millimeter. Okay. So here we go. That's one. That's two. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. That's three. That's four. That's five. Okay, so that's five of these little, just they're long and skinny like that. Okay, so that should be it. And then what I'll do now is pull the water pump off, but before I do that, I'm going to get the my pan to put underneath because I think it's going to have some coolant inside of it. Okay. I might be missing a couple bolts, another bolt. Let me just check again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I pulled out 5, so I have to get. All right. So there's there's another one underneath right here that I think I'm missing. Let me just take a look. So I got that one, that one, that one, that one. There. This I pull. Oh, I see. And there's another one right there. Okay. So I think there's another one right here. It's all so tricky. It's all so tricky. Hold on. So there's one. Oh, I see. I think there's one right here I didn't get. So put it like that. One, two, three, four. This fifth one here looks. Maybe that one goes all the way through. Okay, so it's recessed in this gap. Okay, I got it. Okay. should be right here. Yeah, alright, there it is. Alright. So it's right in that little gap right there. Okay, and that's the last one. So now I should be able to pull this off. It's already going to drip, I can see it, so I'm going to line this pan up, try to catch it. Yep. Okay, there's a hose attached to it right here. I didn't see that hose, so I got to unclip that. I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, there's a hose right here at the bottom of the water pump. I need to just take that off, that clip. So it's right here. And that's the gasket. So that's been removed, the clamp. I just need to slide that hose off. It looks like it might. It's been on there for a while, man. That's a tough one. It's all good. Alright, so I'm gonna like pull this hose off right here, but it's be careful with the water pump. It's really sharp. It just gave me a big old cut. So perfect. Alright, so there you go. Pull that off, and that is the water pump right there. I'll back this off some so you can see what's going on. Okay, so that's the water pump. Now what I'm going to do, I need to unscrew these two bolts right here and pull this off. So this is the old part, and here's the new one. You can see that I'm going to need to take this off right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. This is a 10mm, by the way. Those two bolts. Alright, so here's the thermostat, right? It's really a good idea to replace this thermostat. if you have one. If you don't, then you know, whatever. You might have to end up doing all this again from the top. But replace the thermostat if you have one. So this is the set that I'm using, the PP304LK6. This has a water pump and then the metal impeller. It has a timing belt. There's a timing belt replacement sticker. It has an idle pulley, 2 of them actually. It has an idler gear pulley. It has a hydraulic tensioner and 2 camshaft seals. Okay, so this is the kit I'm using, and I recommend it. So I'm gonna clean all around the gasket, all around here, all around there where it's connected. The water pump is connected to the actual engine block. I'm gonna clean all these connectors. Just go ahead and spray it with some brake part cleaner. Okay, so that's it. Let's go ahead and do that. Make sure all of it is nice and clean because you're gonna put a lot of stuff back together here. And also it helps you in the future when you want to look for leaks, right? So that's it. Give it a good clean. And try not to turn anything with your hands. Make sure everything is remains lined up. Okay. All right, and that's it. So here's our new part. What we're going to do now, we're going to place the water pump in here. So, I'm sorry, the thermostat inside of this water pump. I'm just going to go ahead and just clean this off. This is the water pump I'm going to use. So it goes right in here. there's the old one. So these go, this goes up and down like that. Okay, so now it's seated like the old one. That's the old one, that's the new one. What I got to do now, I want to take this part right here and clean it a little bit. You can see it's a little grimy. See that right there? So this surface needs to be a little cleaner. So I'm going to use my brake part cleaner. It's almost done. And I'm going to just scrape this off. This is a plastic scraper. I don't want to use metal on metal because it'll scratch the surface of the aluminum. Aluminum's really soft compared to other metals. So I use this first. This will loosen up the hard stuff. Once that's loosened up, then give it a good clean. Okay, so now that's so much better. Now we're going to go ahead and take this and screw this onto the water pump. So it's going to go like, I got to check 1 second. So now we have the water pump set up. You can see this top like external like hose leading out. It matches the same orientation as this, like that. Okay, so I already cleaned this part. You saw me do that. Put some brake part cleaner. I'm gonna go ahead and put some anti-seize. That's copper anti-seize around these bolts. So I have two bolts, right? They look like this to put back. So that's how long they are. Just get an idea. I'm gonna put some copper seize around them. So let's go like that. And then I'm gonna take this here. I want to hand tighten everything first because I don't want to strip anything. Make sure it's going in smoothly. Alright, so that's the first one. Right. Here's the second. Okay, so that's hand tightened, right? And then I'm going to just go ahead and try to do this a little faster with this. So then I got to torque this down, right? So this is going to be 8.9 feet per pounds. Let me just double check that for you 1 second. Yes, I'm right. That's 8.9 feet per pounds. So I got my torque wrench set. That also is equivalent to 12 Newton NMs. Okay, so you can go ahead and use 12 NMs, or you can use 8.9 feet per pound. So. Okay, that's good. Good. So now we're good. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the gasket here and place it on the water pump. So here's the so we're going to go like this. So the gasket has same structure as the water pump, so there you go. So make sure they're lined up. If they're not lined up, then you don't have the right orientation for the gasket. You can see how it's all lined up right there. Okay, so now we're gonna need to tighten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10mm bolts, and we're going to do it to 9 feet per pound. Okay, and that's equivalent to 108 inches per pound. So I'm going to go like this. And those hoses come out like that at the bottom, so goes down like that. So this is kind of important. Don't forget these rubber gaskets. You can see the old one right here. It's right there on the side. So you want to make sure you take the new one . And place it in that groove like that also. Okay, so that's it. So this is the new thermostat right here that we put in earlier. This is the extra. This ring I thought was like something. I didn't know where it went to, but it's just extra for this. Okay, so you need this if you're going to reuse your old thermostat. But I got a new thermostat, so no need to worry about it. Alright, I think that's it. So that is lined up at the top. It lines up really well with this other side. No cross-threading is happening, so that's really good. Okay, so go ahead and put the other, I guess it's 3 more in. Alright. And that's it. We should be able to okay. It's actually 6 of them, so I'm gonna just clean these off real quick here. Alright, so I'm going to go like this. There's another one right here. Sorry. Using this 10mm here with the extension to help spin them down. Okay, there should be one more right there. I mean, two more actually. Alright, here's the other one right here. Make sure these threads have nothing on them because I did drop this, as you saw earlier. Okay. And that spins on nicely. And there should be one more right here in that weird little spot. That was like a little tricky. Just remember, it's right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, you can. Okay, so like this is the water pump. There's another bolt that is like it's this one right here. It's hard to see. Okay, right there. Just remember that one. That's the last one. That's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so one of them should be, okay, see that one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then right here, yeah, okay, come on, oh, there it is, got it. Okay, these are going to get torqued to 9 feet-pounds, or 108 inches per pound. Okay, so grab your torque wrench, and actually I'm going to just I just want to spin these down a little bit more. Just want to speed stuff up. Okay. So that's that, and then I take my torque wrench. Yeah, I'll probably need an extension. So, alright, so with this torque wrench, I got it set to 9 feet per pound, which is approximately like, it's almost 12.4 Newton meters. So. Okay, cool. So you go all the way around once, right? And I like to go across, so I'm going to go across one more time. So here, go down here, and go here, and you go back up here, and then I'm going to go across to here, and then I'm going to go to this one here. Okay, and that's it. The water pump's done. So there's a hose that attaches to this right here at the bottom. I gotta put that hose back on the water pump here. See how easy that's gonna be. Okay. I might be fighting with this. Alright, I'm gonna try to get it from underneath. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm under the car. I'm gonna go ahead and try to connect this here. Alright, that was so much easier. Getting it from under. Slide it on. There you go. So let's take this clamp now and slide it forwards. Hey, Jimbo. How you doing? I got myself a little baby mechanic with me. Best baby mechanic ever. Alright, so that hose is much easier to get from underneath. And I'm just going to slide the clamp on. See how successful I'm going to be here. Might have to go back underneath and try. Let me see. Okay, here we go. We're getting there. Almost there. Okay, so that's it. That bottom hose is connected again. So right here we're going to put the idler pulley. I just set it up so you can see it. This is going to be a 14mm bolt. So this uses these smaller bolts like that, okay? And they're 14mm. So we're going to go like this. Here's the new idler pulley, right? But you notice that it has a recess on this side. That's the side that the bolt goes through like that. And this tool will touch the body of the car. So we're going to go like this. Okay, and screw that in. So that is going to be it's the 14mm. Cool. And then this is going to end up being torqued to spec. So let's go ahead and throw the torque wrench on there. That is This is going to be 29 feet per pound of torque on that. So I'm going to go ahead and find my torque wrench. There, here's a 14 millimeter. All right, here's my torque wrench. It's at my torque wrench is set to 29 feet per pound. Okay, cool. So that's it. It's already set. It's done. It's good. So I want to show you how bad this tensioner was. This is the old tensioner right here. When I pull it apart, it had like no tension whatsoever. You can see right here, it's just gooey. The gasket that was around it just broke right out. So this is the new tensioner. This thing is definitely screwed. So sooner or later, this thing was just not giving the car enough tension already, because it's nothing there. So anyway, just wanted to show you. Okay, so this is the old one. You can see how bad it is. I'll zoom in some more if you can't tell the difference. See how it's just all busted right here and leaking, and that one's not. Okay, so I'm going to put the tensioner in now. So let's try it again. I had to look at that photo I took. So it should be like this. Right, so there's a rubber gasket right here. Push this all the way back. It's going to make it difficult for you to screw it in if it's not. So this is a 14 millimeter. I'm going to see if I can just kind of hand tighten it a little bit. I don't want to cross thread it. It feels like it's not turning well, so kind of like not really trusting myself right now. Yeah, I don't like the way that feels. Alright, I gotta investigate a little. Alright, so here's the tensioner, it's on. I ran into some problems, so I had to helicoil this. It was kind of stripped where the bolt was needed to go, so I'll show you what I did, what I had to use. So again, I was saying to you I had to helicoil it. This is what I used. So that's 7703020. All right, and it's M10 by 1.25. Okay, and you're going to need a drill bit for that. It's a 13/32 drill bit, or 0.406 drill bit. Okay, so don't forget to get the drill bit with this to drill out the hole. So Fabian did it for me, lifesaver. So let's see if I can actually torque this down to spec now. So this is a 14 millimeter. And this is going to go to 29 feet per pounds. I'm going to take the extension off because it kind of messes up the torque. Cool, that's it. Alright, so that worked. That's the idler pulley now. I'm sorry, that's the tensioner. We're going to do another. So what I'm going to try to do now, I'm going to try to take this, it is a 17 millimeter socket right here to take this off, because I want to change the, there are these gaskets that look like that behind the camshafts on both sides. So I heard that they're difficult to get off, but since I'm here and it came with the set, I'm going to do it anyway. So again, this is a 17 millimeter. Put it like that. So that's that bolt right there. Okay. Okay. So that's that. You have to worry about the lining up because it's keyed, so you don't have to worry about lining it up. You see that little space right there, a little tab, slides onto that. Okay, right here is the little gasket back there. So to get to that gasket, I don't know if you can see it. It's like right here. So I want to take a look at it. Oh yeah, it's definitely leaking. It should be replaced. Yeah, it's definitely leaking. It's got like fluid at the bottom of it, so it's a good thing I'm doing this now. So I'm just checking the orientation. Yep, it goes in like that. So the holes, this groovy part in the hair, it's going to go forwards like that into the engine block. So let's see if I can take it off. I'll try with my pick here. Alright, so you can see it's all cleaned out right now. What I did, I got some help from Fabian again, and we actually used this bigger pick right here, the 84001D pick from Gear Wrench. And we went in and just pulled on it. I want to show you something about it. With this here, okay, so when you go in, right, Fabian had just advised me, like, when you puncture this and start pulling on it, don't go too far in because you don't want to scratch the metal. You just want to like touch this part right here, this bottom lip, and yank on it, and it should come right out. So I sprayed it with some air. I sprayed it with some brake part cleaner, got it all nice and clean. I'm going to use some assembly lube on it now, right? And I'm going to use this socket. This is a 34 millimeter axle nut socket. So I'm going to go on top of it like this and push it in. All right, and the goal is to get it all the way in. So here you go. I'm going to put some lube on the outside. That's just to help it slide in really easily. I'm not sure again what's in here. I know it's a combination of like power steering fluid. What else is in there? Assembly lube, Fabian? Power steering fluid? Your assembly lube? What's in it?
Automatic transmission fluid, and I think it's called like PTP or something like that.
Okay, so it's automatic transmission fluid and something called PTP. I think it just thickens up the, it increases the viscosity of it. So, alright, so here we go. Let's slide in that on. Again, this goes in like this, the groove parts. go forwards into the body, towards the chassis. To make sure this is flush all the way around. Okay, let's get at the top. The bottom, can work the bottom a little bit more. Okay, there you go. Bottom looks better. Yep, it's all the way around. It's nice and flush. Okay, so that's it. It's seated properly, and that's a good job right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just clean this off again with some more brake part fluid. I mean, brake parts cleaner. Cool, there you go. So that's it. That's seated really nicely, and it should be good for a very long time. All right. I'm gonna do the other side now, so I'll try to show you that in real time, okay? So I'm gonna place the pulley back on. All right, so let's go ahead and see, it has a key right here. See that? Sorry, see that? That'll slide onto the groove, so that way you know it's lined up. Okay. Okay. So that's on the groove, right? So we have to get this turned back around to the top. Okay, so the timing can be on point. So here's a 17mm bolt we took off. So I'm gonna just spray a little bit of PB on it. And the torque spec on this is going to be the exact same as the other bolts here. So this is going to be a 29 feet per pound. Again, this is a 17. So alright, so here we go. Alright, so it's going to be a little hard to tighten with this. I'm going to use my impact hammer on it. Alright, in a perfect world, what would happen is I would have a pulley tool that holds the pulleys so I can tighten these properly. But I don't, so next best thing is my impact hammer. So I have my impact hammer set to 2. That's good. All right, so now I have to line this up again. Right, so I'm gonna have to turn it with a wrench just to get it. Get it right. So here we go. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm going to turn. Oops, sorry. Okay, I don't know if you saw anything. That's cool. All right, so I'm going to turn this again. Right here. So it's perfectly lined up right there. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull this one off, right? And to do that, it's a 17 millimeter again. So that's that. It looks like this. It's a pretty big bolt. See that? Okay. So once that's off, I pull this pulley off. Right? So that's out. So it goes like this. See this flat part right here? This flat part right here goes forwards like that. Okay? Cool. And this is also keyed, so you don't have to worry about the alignment. When you pull it off, it has a little tab right there. Alright? So what we're going to do now, we're going to try to see if I can pull this thing off in a reasonable amount of time. Okay, so I'll be fighting with this for a little bit, right? So let's see how good I can get this. If I can do it under 3 minutes. There it is, it's coming. Just like Fabian suggested. Alright, that was pretty easy. compared to what I was doing before. Right, okay, so that's that. So I pushed in on here, I pushed on the metal, so that way I don't scratch the metal itself. So now that that's out, right, I'm gonna go ahead and I need to clean it out. So let's clean it out together. So I'm gonna go like this. Get some brake part cleaner. Yeah, that's finished. Okay. So here's the other can here. Okay, good. That's nice. Okay, so I sprayed it with some brake part cleaner. I'm just cleaning around it. Okay, so that's clean. What I'll do now, I'm going to spray it out. Make sure there's no like metal or anything in there. And I'm going to spray it in with some brake part cleaner. Clean this off. Okay. So that's good, right? Nice and clean. Right, so let's go ahead and put the new ring on, right? So same thing I'm going to do again, right? I'm just going to, so this is the ring right here. I'm going to just put some assembly lube on it, and then try to slide it on. So I put on the outside. Remember, the grooves go, these grooves right here, these grooves, they go forwards like that, okay? And this flatter part stays on the outside. So this socket, again, it's a 34mm socket. Just gonna push on it evenly. So I'm checking. Looks like the 9 o'clock needs a little bit more pushing. Five o'clock needs more pushing. Ah. Almost there. Almost. The top's good. top seated over here. I gotta seat this side some more. Okay, so this side right here needs a little bit more loving. That's perfect. Okay, so it's flat all the way around. Really nice seal. All right, so from there, all right, I'm gonna put the, let's go ahead and put this back on. So again, it's keyed, so you don't have to worry about it. My camera might die soon, but I'll keep you updated. Actually, before I do that, I want to clean this again. Sorry about that. So that's nice and clean and flush. I'm going to reinstall the pulley. So the pulley goes, the key for it right. Okay, so take that. Here's the 17mm bolt. I'll just put a little PB blast on it just to help it spin in easily. So always hand tighten stuff so that way you don't break anything. I'm gonna throw my impact hammer on there and finish it off. Okay, cool. That should be it. And then now what I have to do, I need to realign it so it matches up with the top. So to do that, I'm going to take my wrench, my ratchet here, and good, and put that on there. Okay, so right there it's lined up. Okay, so cool. Lined up right there. Everything's lined up, so now I should be able to put the belt on. Alright, and that's it. So what I have to do is put on my this pulley right here. Now I'd forgotten what it looked like, but it's good that I took a photo of it earlier before I pull it all apart. That's what I recommend you do with yours. So this longer bolt right here looks like this. See that right there? It's a little longer than the others. Right, that one's gonna go inside of this teethed pulley right here. Right? And this teethed pulley right here connects to the water pump. And there's a flat side here, and there's a little like concave right here. Okay, so concaves here and concaves here. So this concave part is where the bolt sits in like that. All right? And then that screws in. But before we do that, let's go ahead and put the belt on. Okay, so the belt has to go on before this. So this is the timing belt, and it has lines on it. So you can see, here we go. See right here. So you have 3 lines. You have one right here, solid line. Then you have a dotted line right here, and then you have another line right here. It has the manufacturer, Mitsubishi, right? So what you want to do, right, is line those lines up. Right, so we do the driver's side first. So now what you want to do is use your the photo you took earlier of the actual belts, so you can see how they line up, like the order that they go in. So I'm just going to use my my photo of it. So this one goes under, then it goes around this. Underneath the tensioner pulley and then around like this. There you go, that line lines up with that right there. And then from there, we're going to go under. And from under, we're going to go over. Like so. So, let me get those lines lined up. Like that. Okay. So now the top is all lined up. So what I want to do now is I'm going to install the. Just looking at my photo, I'm going to install the pulley, right, with the teeth on the water pump right here. So that's on the water pump there, and that's going to get torqued to the same 29 feet per pound. So let's see if we can. So this is a 14 millimeter socket, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down to. This is 29 feet per pounds per inch. Okay, that's it. I need to install this last pulley right here. All right. So if you look at it, you can see it has a lip on the back and smooth in the front. This smooth part, the lip goes in the back towards the engine block. All right. This groove right here, this indentation, is where you're going to put the bolt. All right. So it goes like this. It's a 14 millimeter, by the way. So that's hand tightened. Feels really good. Okay, so we're going to continue to put the belts on. So I'm going to back up so you can see what the belts are going to look like. Alright, so this is going to go above. Oops. This goes under. Above. Alright, so I got the belt on. A lot of help from Fabian. What he did, what I did, I held it right here. And he just like snaked it under and pushed it forwards that way. So that's the best way to do it. Okay, slide it under and push it in that way. Cool, so now we have one more to go. So we're gonna go like this. With this, the lip slide goes towards the engine block. Okay, this hollow part here is where this bolt will go. So this goes under like this. So you're gonna have to lift up a lot. You don't want any like tension on the actual yeah, this one's way easier to do. Yeah, that's the bear right there. Okay. So again, let's go ahead and torque these down. So the torque is going to be 29 feet-pounds. Yeah, I'm going to do that one right now. Okay, so this is going to be a 14 I mean. So it's 14. This is also 14. Alright, so cool. So that's torqued down at 29 feet-pounds, both of those. Sure to take that off. Okay, so now the belt is actually on, right? So it's good. Okay, that's lined up. So then go ahead and pull the pin out. Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it 2 times just to see and make sure those lines stay lined up. Alright, so what I did was I went around 2 times. So this right here is lined up with that. This center one right here is lined up with that. Get a better shot for you. So the center here is lined up with that. Right there. Here's the driver's side. Here's the groove right here. Is lined up with that. Okay, so this 22 millimeter bolt. All I did was put this on here. Turned it 2 times, and that's it. All right. So 2 revolutions, and it should be lined up. So this came with. I had to redo the plastic cover. It came with some interesting little plastic gaskets, right? So they're a little tricky to put on. So I'll show you what they look like. First off, here are all the parts. So you can see the part numbers. Okay. So I got that. Okay. I got this after. This also. This is the big front plastic part that covers the belt, and then we have this. Right. This is a gasket. Actually, no, I think that was actually the front cover, the small one, and this is the gasket. Either way, you look the part numbers up, you can see them, and these you're gonna need all of these to redo the front cover, all right? So, here you go. So right here, right, what we have is, here's a smaller one. It has a groove. Wherever there's a groove, the gasket sits on it. So the gasket has a little gap like that. This other one is this top one right here. Right. Your clue to get this in correctly is that cut in, that dip like that. It feels really funny when you pull the gasket apart. See? So it's really like weird and hard to figure out. But all I gotta do is look for that weird dip like that. And that dip goes right here. And then everything else should fall into place. Cool. Oh, there you go. So that's it. All right. So that's the front, and here is the other side. See, there's no grooves, so there's no gasket that's going to go on this. All right. So let's go ahead and install that. So this uses a whole bunch of 10mm bolts, right? It uses, so I'm going to share the parts for these. Okay. Alright, the parts for those, this is the part number. Got it? Alright. And all I'm doing is replacing these. See how rusted they are? So don't try to reuse them. Just get new ones, alright? Alright, so we're going to put the front cover on, the main one. Right, so the Subaru brand obviously is going to go in the right orientation. Got a whole bunch of 10mm bolts we're going to screw onto this. So let's go ahead and give that a start. All I'm doing is just going to catch them and I'll spin them down with my air tool. So I gotta get good underneath here. I'm actually going to try to use a smaller 10mm, just because I don't want to strip anything or break the plastic. So I'm going to use a 1/4" driver. There's like 3 more bolts underneath. They're going to be easier to get to by going under the car. So save yourself the time trying to put them on blind and go underneath. Alright, so that's all of them. So let's go ahead and just quickly tighten them down with the air ratchet real quick. Nothing too special. I'm gonna go underneath. Alright, so now I'm going to do this side. So this is the small side right here. This has a different set of bolts. It has 1, 2, 3 of them, and they're a little bit smaller, right? So they look like this. So these are the old ones right here. Alright, see that? And these are the new ones. So these new bolts are, that's the number for them. Okay, so go ahead and get that part. Sounds good? Alright, so here we go. We have 1, 2, 3 spaces here. So, I think I figured out something. Yeah, I've been trying to figure this out. I'm trying to... Nah, never mind. Alright, so this here is going to sit on top of this. So again, 1, 2, 3. Remember where they are. And these are also 10 millimeter. They are also 10 millimeter bolts, so, but they're shorter. Just remember that. That's what makes them a little different. So they're shorter. So there's 3 of them. I'm gonna go under the car because it's gonna be easier. I can see up underneath better. So that's that. Just gonna go ahead and tighten these down here. Just be careful because you don't want to crack the plastic. Right, so I'm gonna do this by hand. Actually, I can just go ahead and set this. So these are all going to be torqued to the same amount. It's going to be 108 feet per pounds. All right, that's done. Cracked plastic right here. Oh well. Keep going. got to be careful. This plastic side is a little fragile. Cool. That's it. Go all the way around. This is what I learned. These are all going to be 108 feet per pound torque on this side. On this plastic side over here, don't torque it. Just hand tighten it until it's just tight. Because what's happening, and I torqued it to 8 point. It's 110 feet, 108 feet per pound, which is like 108 inches per pound of torque, and it just cracked the plastic. So just do it by hand, okay? So, all right, that's it. Again, do this by hand, these three, and this one, you can torque this. You'll notice right here in a new timing belt cover, it has a hole right here, which is not going to be good because dust and stuff's going to go in there, right? So I was a little confused, and then I noticed that the old timing belt has a little cap right here. So I'm trying to pull that off and put it in there. Let's see how well that goes. Alright, so try to pull that off. I don't want to use anything sharp on it, so. Alright, there you go. Like that. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the same part here and put it in there. Like this. Okay, so now that's on there. So there's no more dust getting into it. For the future, what I will do, this side over here, I'm going to go ahead and take this all the way back off again and put that plastic on in the back because I cracked it. So I'm not going to be happy with that. So I apologize in advance, I'm not going to be a good mechanic. You really should have a pulley tool to hold this and torque it properly. I don't have that. I'm running out of time, so I need to get this done. So I'm going to have to use a torque wrench. And I'm going to have to use an impact hammer. So here we go. I had to take that bolt off so I can put the pulley back on. So that bolt is a 22 millimeter. And gonna slap that on there. So take this off. Again, don't do it this way. Go ahead and get that tool. I'll put it in the description below so you can do this thing properly and not ruin your car. Okay, here's the crank. This flat part here is going to go towards the engine. So this little notch right here, you have to slide it on. It's a key, so let's go and find the notch from here. Notch is down there somewhere. Yeah, there it is. That's it. that's seated nicely. Here's my really huge bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and just hand tighten it at first, get it started. I have my impact set to 1, which is the lowest torque. So I don't want to over tighten this at all. So I had it forwards. Set this to 1. Go up to 2. 2 and then call it a quits. Okay, that's it. Good. Alright. So that should be good. Alright. So now once that's done, right, pulley's in place. Just gotta put the belts back on. So if you're like me, you probably forgot which belt is the stretch belt. No problem. The stretch belt is going to be the one with the smallest amount of grooves. So that's going to be this 4PKE 08. All right, that has 1, 2, 3 channels, and the other one has 1, 2, 3, 4 channels, and this is going to be the one that goes around the alternator. Okay, and that belt is Micro V K050345. All right, so to put the stretch belt on, you're going to need this specialty tool. All right. Subaru Stretch Fit Tool 910331. Alright, you're going to need it. Don't even bother trying to do it without it. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to go around this first, like that. First thing we're going to do, we're going to put the Stretch Fit belt on. Right? Then we take this right here. See that little lip right there? That lip's going to slide into that little hole like that. Make sure this belt is underneath there. Take the bolt. Just go ahead and hand tighten that down. That's good. So that's going to guide the belt onto the pulley. Next thing I'm going to do is attach the other part. So right here is the belt, right? We need to get this belt around this bottom part now. So let's do this, right? You take this U-shaped tool. The long part's going to be up or on the outside. The short part's going to be inside in one of the little holes. It's going to curve down like this. Okay? So you take the belt, you take this, slide it into the hole here like that, and make sure the belt is underneath it like that. See that? So watch again, right? So you're going to put this belt like here. Make sure the grooves are up top, lined up. And then right down here, oops, here we go. Again, put that in, come around to here. This here. Short part's going to be on the inside like that. Get the belt around it. The long part in the back. So now we're like that. The belt's going to fold on itself a little bit, but just keep turning. It'll get into place. Just make sure this, see, look, this is the most important part. There you go. Just kind of turns into place. And that's it. Save yourself the hassle. I was trying to do it with a screwdriver. Stop being cheap. You're saving a whole lot of money and get this cheap tool. Saves your day. And don't do what people are doing on the internet with like screwdrivers. It just messes up the pulley. Okay, the pulleys there. Don't do it. Just get the tool. So now we're going to put the alternator back into place. So I'm going to take, and the belt, the tensioner. So go underneath like that. So this is the alternator belt. Okay, so goes up like that. All right, so this is a 12 millimeter. That's a 12 millimeter. That feels really good. Alright, so I'm going to tighten this down. And here's the other 12 millimeter on this side. Okay. I'm just going to hand tighten these just a little bit just to get a feel for the torque feels right. I don't have a torque spec for these bolts, but you know, just don't go crazy. These are adjustable, obviously, right? Feels good. That feels good also. Okay? So, there you go. That's the alternator, power steering belt. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put the radiator back in. Okay? So radiator's going to... So this radiator has two hoses right here, right? It has two power supplies, and there's a bottom hose right here. Okay? So two power supplies. This is for the automatic transmission, coolant lines. That's the bottom radiator hose. So let's go ahead and slide that down. Okay, I forgot to show you something. Right here, these pins. Just drop those pins into the little pins at the bottom there. I'm going to go under and check and make sure they're lined up. Alright, so that's pretty good. You know what I'm going to do? Before I actually do anything else, I'm going to go underneath the car and connect the hoses. So go ahead and do that right now while the radiator is loose. It's going to be easier, I think, than like to do it while it's tight. All the hoses below are connected. So what I'm going to do now is going to go ahead. So there's two power supplies for the fans, two cooling lines for automatic transmission, and there's the bottom hose. Okay, so those are all the things that are connected underneath. I didn't record it because it's hard to get a video of it, but whatever, you get the point. You saw me take them off, I think. Alright, so I'll loosen these up. Oh yeah, where did my bolt go? Just had a bolt. Oh, it's never mind. It's still in the socket. Okay, so put this on like this. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and PB blast this because it's a little. Those threads are a little hard to catch. Feels good. There's no cross-threading going on there. There. This side broke off, so I'm gonna have to like probably do a. I'm gonna have to do like a little like tie around that because this side it broke off right here. It would go into there and hold on to there. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to use this twist ties because I'm gonna do something like this. I'm gonna go through here. Zip tie, I think it's called zip tie, right? So twist tie, zip tie, can never get it right. So I'm gonna go through here like this, pull that through. All right, and then I'm gonna tighten that down. Let's make sure it's not, but nothing weird is happening with the thread. Okay, and that'll hold the radiator in place. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is put on this upper hose right here. Now what I'm going to do is, see right here, I'm going to attach the upper radiator hoses. So I'm going to use some of this stuff just to help me get it on a little easier. This is the lubricant. I guess you could use any lubricant you want right here. Just helps me not have to fight too much to get things on. So. Alright, that's pretty easy. Okay. So there you go. Then what we'll do now, slide these clamps on. Alright, let's try this one. This thing does not want to go any further. I really love these clamps, but man, when they want to go on, they don't want to go on. It's hard to force them on there. The bottom part of this clamp is too pushed back. I need Ooh-wee. It is not sliding on. Hold on. Don't want to break it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to spray this thing. There you go. Oh, it's like you're cheating at life. Anyway, so spray with some lubricant, slide it on. All right, that's that belt. Upper hose. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill back up the coolant. I couldn't reuse the coolant that I poured out earlier because the some grass got inside of it, and I don't want to contaminate the system. So I'm gonna have to use new stuff. But anyway, yeah, so you just connect this wire right here to that and we're good to go. Alright. Alright, so again, this clip, don't forget to clip that in, right? So here's the snorkel. We're going to go ahead and slide that in there. Right? And then that has these two little black, what do you call it? I have no idea what they're called, dude. And I'm also really tired right now, so slide that in there, push that down. Just same for this side. Pull them back out because they need to be out like that. And they're in. Got it? Cool. So now what we want to do is take this here, and I didn't take the bolt out of that, right? That's a 10mm bolt. So let's go ahead and give it a little like lubrication right here. So That's a 10 millimeter. And I should be able to... You just push down on that side. Okay? And yeah, you should be able to hand tighten this. Don't be crazy. Don't need a lot. Okay, so that's that. All the hoses are connected. Alright, you're probably going to need some automatic transmission fluid because some of it leaks out when you're doing this work. Alright, so go ahead and fill that up also with some automatic transmission fluid. Hey, I hope that you really like this really hard work, but it's not impossible. Get all the specialty tools, you'll be good to go. Change the timing belt on a Subaru Impreza 2011 hatchback, 2.5 liter. Hey, listen, hope that it's useful to you. If it was, please share and like below. And let people know that you found a great resource. If you can support me, that'd be even better. Go ahead and look at my Amazon wish list and get me something from there. It's usually something that I need to help me do a better job or improve my capacity, which I then offer to you in these tutorials. So go ahead and help a brother out, I guess, right? Okay, cool, thanks. So listen, my name is Lex. Check me out on Instagram, Motion Design Studio, YouTube, Motion Design Studio, Facebook, Motion Design Studio, and if you feel so brave, you can go look for me on Facebook also. Alright, cool. Thanks again. Like and subscribe below. Support me by going to my Amazon wish list and getting me something. Alright, bye.